No, 1 second. Hey guys, welcome back. The we got we got booted immediately. The whole screen froze up. Streamlabs could not handle the two of us. We're still trying to work it out. He's restarting his computer, and hopefully we can get him on here. It worked with my wife, and so hopefully we'll get him back up. I'm just waiting for him to pop into the screen, and then we're going to talk about this collection you guys can see here on the screen and how it's going to work, and try to give you guys some tips on picking up these items. There he is. Hey, Brandon. Brandon, can you hear me? What the heck? Okay, let me check here. How about this? Can you hear me now? Still can't hear me, huh? Let me do this. I'm gonna do this. Add source, and it should be working. Let's see here. All right, Yeti. Monitor and output. And this is going to use the Yeti. Yeti. Webcam. Close. Let's mute this. I can see I'm talking, but Brandon can't hear me. Why would this not work? Still nothing. Dang. I hear you. Check. That doesn't work either. Brandon, I can't hear you now. Let me see here. You went mute all of a sudden. I could hear you in the background noise, and then all of a sudden it went mute. I still can't hear you. Something you clicked. Oh, wait, hold on. I
can you hear me
now. Yeah, we're good. Oh my gosh. What the fuck, dude?
I don't know what the fuck, but
This technology, man, it's nuts, man. Drives me insane. The stream crashed. It just froze up. And then
Really?
we lost everybody. But we got everybody back. So everybody's here for the most part. And
are we live right now? Can they hear me?
Yeah, we're live.
All right. Hello, everybody.
I think we've probably got a lot of carryover between 5 Idiots and Star Wars Daddy. I'm pretty sure that lots of people, it might be everybody, is on both of our YouTubes and all that stuff. But
yeah,
I thought that it would be good to just introduce you, because I can tell you a lot of my members, they have it very cushy over here. And so when I get collections in, they get like first dibs, and they can claim stuff and they can pick it up. And so when I announced that we officially got this collection last week in my live stream, there wasn't a single comment when I was letting everybody know that it's going to be sold on 5 Idiots Talking Toys or on rogue5toys.com, and nobody would be able to like hand pick stuff. So it seemed like there was like the room deflated. But so what I want to do is want to make sure that everybody gets to know you, they understand how it works, where can they go to find these things, like kind of the dynamics of, so that they can understand how they can go in and claim these items and still have a chance to win. So I think I'll give you the floor.
So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Brandon. I'm part of 5 Idiots Talking Toys podcast. And that's how we know Michael here, through the podcast and obviously through the sales pages and all that throughout the years. So with 5 Idiots Talking Toys, obviously it's a podcast. There's 5 of us. We talk about mostly vintage Star Wars toys, pop culture, you name it, we'll talk about it. You know, some of the stuff that's happening on the pages and whatnot. We also have a sales page called Rogue 5 Toys, and the 5 of us sell on that sales page, and we basically offer anything from vintage Star Wars to Star Wars, you know, kitchenware or bedding or curtains or whatnot, you know. And not only that, but other toy lines that we've started branching out to, you know, Kenner, Hasbro, Mattel, Coleco, all the way down to, you know, anywhere from 60s all the way to current modern stuff. So we definitely have everything there on the page. And then
Yeah, I think. Oh. All right. Sorry. They got an echo from me, and you know, if I get rid of my echo, they can't hear you. So we'll just have an echo on me. Okay, everybody, calm down. Just calm down. It'll be an echo. Yeah. So basically, what happens is the price point at which I was willing to pay was going to have expenses going down to California, just like we did with the $45,000 collection, where I flew down there and rented a 20-foot U-Haul and drove all the way back. That financially made sense. This one, these sellers were just real tight, and they were honestly just overpriced, and they were not budging. So the only solution was to bring Brandon in, who I knew lived somewhere close. And then because if I put in my costs to get it, there was, I mean, I wasn't going to make any money on it. It didn't make any sense. And so we brought him in, which, listen, I have been a fan of 5 Idiots Talking Toys, and I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars at rogue5toys.com. Everything you guys see in my videos, I won't say everything, but like probably 70% of everything has been from rogue5toys.com over the last 4 or 5 years. So
all the stuff behind you, mainly?
Yes. And it wraps around this entire room. It's everywhere. And it's, I think one year I told Chris, because I was doing my taxes for like my cost of goods sold and all that stuff, my inventory, whatever. I think it was 1 year, maybe it was 2 years ago. I spent $30,000 just with Chris in 1 year.
Wow.
So listen,
I believe it.
We've got problems. I've got big problems. So these kind of collections like this is what helps fuel all of those items I get to add to my collection. And bringing Brandon on just was a perfect opportunity. So on the rogue5toys.com, if you guys aren't members, Brandon, how do they get in there and sign up?
So, it's a Facebook page, Rogue 5 Toys. And if you go to rogue5toys.com, it'll lead you to the link to sign up. And we do all of the selling on the Facebook page. So just log on to Facebook, go to Rogue 5 Toys, request to be a member. The most important thing about requesting to be a member is to answer the questions. So if you don't answer the questions, we will not admit you. And that's basically to basically weed out, anything that we may think, any kind of bots or any kind of, weird issues that we may have. So please answer the questions, and we will let you on the page. And we'll just start posting. Chris and I post the majority of the stuff that's on there. You'll see a couple other guys that'll post sometimes, but we do the majority of the posting on there. And it's just a sales page. It's not a sales page for everyone to come on and sell their stuff. It's not like the Imperial Commissary where everybody can come on there and sell their own stuff. It is a private sales page, and we do that on purpose to kind of monitor and keep all the general population type issues that other pages have to a minimum. So we're drama free. We try to be anyway, and it's just a sales page, and we also drop some nuggets of information on there as well, and we try to help the hobby out as much as possible with giving everybody information on certain toy lines and certain figures and weapons and what you can think for accessories and how to identify certain things. So we do drop some information on there as well, but it's mainly a sales page, and we use it to promote the podcast 5 Idiots Talking Toys. So as I'm sure you do, Star Wars Daddy, you probably have a Patreon, right?
Yep. Here on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, so we have one as well. And with our Patreon, so patreon.com/5 Idiots Talking Toys, we do offer, first looks at collections. So if you do see, you'll see stuff on there first before we post it, usually 24 hours prior. You get a heads up as to, hey, this is coming up for sale. So since we are collaborating, with Star Wars Daddy, we will, I'll send him a heads up as to, hey, this is coming up for sale, tomorrow, just to give him a rundown of everything that we're listing, because we are, sharing the collection here. So give them a rundown of everything that we're listing on there, and then that way you can tell your followers as well to keep a lookout on the page.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think everybody would be thrilled about that. So I guess to my members, if there's things that you're seeing, and I'm going to keep kind of going through these pictures here, but if you see things in here that you're going to want, reach out, and I'll get the list and I'll make sure that you guys know what's going on. When it comes to pricing, what kind of prices should people expect as far as compared to the rest of the market?
We try to do as much as possible. We try to price lower than the market, uh, mainly to just get the stuff out as fast as possible. We don't, like to sit on uh, stuff for a while. We're not a brick and mortar store. We don't have a storeroom where we can, recycle inventory like some stores do. So we do like to just move stuff in and out as quick as possible. So, there won't be eBay prices. We'll factor in. If you look at something that's sold on eBay, for instance, you are as a seller, forking over what that 13.5 to 15% on some items from eBay. So we do keep that in mind. So we try to price it under eBay and price it under the market just to move some of that stuff. Uh, that's not to say that some of the rarer stuff, if there's things that are very hard to find and extremely hard to find, it'll be a little harder to price those things out. So those might match market because there's just not that many comps to go off of. But we do have, all that stuff will come up for sale, and we do have like clearance type sales every once in a while on Sundays, mainly for like Sunday steals, where we will list some of the items that didn't sell throughout the week at a lower price just to move it. Like I said, we just don't want to sit on the product for a long time, because we do have a large volume of stuff that comes in and out mostly every week. So I do a lot of hunting down here in California. I know a lot of other people too that send, collections to Chris, and they'll send collections to me, and I'll pick up collections like this, local one that we did. And I've done a few of those here in Southern California. So, we'll pick up collections, and then we'll put them out there and sell them. That way you can add them to your collection and upgrade stuff. That's what I do. I'm a collector seller. I collect, whatever I'm interested in, and then I'll upgrade, and then I'll just sell the one that I don't want anymore, basically. So
Yeah,
that's how it
what I
works.
do. Yeah, like the 30,000, I admitted that I sold with, or bought with Chris. Like much of that was upgrading something, and then I would sell the stuff on the back end. So it wasn't really like 30,000 out of pocket. It was, I don't know, probably 15, and I sold,
Mhm.
after I sold 15,000 myself out of my own collection. But yeah, that's what we do. These mint on cards that we see here, you see those? I know that you said there was like none of them are like gradable, you think, or are they all just more for display?
There's a few nicer ones in there. I don't know if any of them would be considered gradable. I mean, anything's considered gradable nowadays. It's just consider what the grade that you want. And with the cost of grading nowadays, you have to be very selective on the stuff that you do send in and ensure that, if you do want to sell it once it's graded or after a little while, that you're getting your return on investment. Um, some of those, the last 17 that are there, the majority of those were open, if I remember correctly. But the one thing about this collection that sets it apart from any of the other stuff that I've seen out there is that I want to say every boxed item that's in there has the inserts and the instruction books and the sticker sheets. Um, and let me tell you that the boxes on those and all the internals and the vehicles themselves are all in very, very nice condition. So at least the majority of them are, this collection sets itself apart from all the other ones that I've seen where it's just a Y-wing thrown in a box with all the pieces. No, that Y-wing is in that box with the insert, and the stickers are probably on it, but all the paperwork is there, and the box is pristine, the insert's pristine, the vehicle's pristine. The owner, this came from an original owner, and they took a really good care of everything to ensure that it would last this long and basically hold on to it for value. If I remember correctly, the seller, his mother was the one that told him to keep everything nice so that way you can sell it in the future, and that's exactly what he did. And he got a pretty nice chunk of change there for the investment that his mother put in there. So a lot of this stuff was bought, maybe displayed, played with maybe a little bit, and then put back in the package and then stored away.
Yeah. I Can you still hear me, Brandon? Okay, perfect. I'm trying to get rid of the echo on my end. So if I mute you on this thing and I talk, it'll probably get rid of my echo, but I'll just have to unmute when you're going to say something. It's going to drive me insane. But let's do that to make it better for everybody at home. So
Me and see if that helps.
no, it's not you. It's on my. It's a nightmare. So some of the tips, guys, that I've missed out on claiming things that I've wanted from rogue5toys.com. I've wanted everything, but there's been some things that like I've really wished I had been able to have claimed and missed out on. And so my tips, I guess I would say, is Chris is on the East Coast. So it depends on where you're at because Brandon is on the West Coast. So my guess is you'll see posts that will start, 9 a.m. ish on the Pacific side. And then sometimes there'll be some late posts for you if you're on the East Coast because he'll post up late into the evening. And so there's things that you're seeing in this collection that you're going to want. You're going to need to be on Facebook all day and refresh the screen. That's the best way to see when these things pop in immediately because much of this is going to be claimed very quickly. And so you're just going to you have to be on top of it. It's not like there's going to be a time frame that you have to put in a claim. Like the second it goes live, it can be claimed within seconds. So you just have to be proactive on it.
Yep, that's pretty good advice. I was going to mention that I am on the West Coast, and that so I do post. If you're on the East Coast or overseas, even I know a lot of people overseas never have the opportunity to really claim. I think if you're in the UK, you're more of a fan of the East Coast postings. If you're in Australia, I think you're more of a fan of the West Coast postings. At least that's what I notice. But what you said is exactly true. I'm a West Coast poster, so um, 9 o'clock is probably a good time for me to start posting stuff, and I'll post throughout the day and later on as well.
I just did some like housekeeping with people claiming items and stuff, and I've got a bunch of boxes sitting over here. So I know with you guys, we can do you can get a box started to save on shipping, put a whole bunch of items in there. But what's the payment type scenario look like? Is it 20% down, or do you want to get the full payment up front if somebody's claimed something?
So if you need a payment plan, we do those. They're 20% down, non-refundable. And then the terms of payment, usually we want it within, I don't know. I work with everybody. I know everybody's different. I have people that are on payment plans that pay me weekly. I have people that pay me biweekly. So as long as you clear it with me first, and I'll be more than happy to work with you. But that's why we do 20% down, non-refundable, because if you pay that 20% down and then I never hear from you again, and then you say you don't want it, then I've been holding your item for however long, and that's why we did the 20% down, non-refundable. But we do a build a box, which is, like you said, a way to save on shipping. Multiple items get added to a box. When you're ready to ship, I ship it. Now with build a box and international, we only do friends and family payments on PayPal. And that's because if you have a box with me and you have a bunch of items in there and you pay me goods and services, well then let's say 2 months go by and you don't want your items anymore, you can put a claim in for PayPal, and then I've been stuck with your items for 2 months, and when I could have sold them elsewhere, So that's why we do friends and family. And then for international, we do friends and family only because the way the postal system is here, once that item leaves the United States, I can't really have any control over it. I have no idea if it got delivered or if it never got delivered because the tracking system is very bad in Europe and especially elsewhere outside of the US. So we do friends and family only. But if you're inside of the US and you just want to ship it, we do goods and services. I mean, obviously we prefer you do friends and family. You can ask a lot of people in the hobby, Rogue 5 Toys has been around for about 3 years now, and we have a podcast. So we try to play by the rules, and we're not here to screw anybody. So, um, so that I like to go in this hobby with the I don't trust anybody kind of thing, but usually if somebody's like more well known, like you have a podcast, it's people know who Star Wars Daddy is, you have your own, sales stuff and your own show and all that. So I imagine that, if anybody had any issues with you, it'd be cleared up. So the same thing with us. If there's any issues with anything at all, we try to resolve it. You know, here on the page, and we're very transparent with everything that we do. So
Yep. I would concur with all of that. I think in all of my purchasing, there's maybe been a couple little things that was just shipping. It wasn't even anybody's fault but the post office, and then that's about it. So it's been an incredible experience, and literally my entire collection, you know, it wouldn't be where it's at without rogue5toys.com. So,
oh, thanks, appreciate that.
absolutely, man. my wife's not happy, but I'm
neither,
thrilled.
neither is mine. Neither is mine.
Let's real quick. I think we've kind of wrapped up the gist of everything and all the pointers. If are there any questions from the chat real quick that we can get? Anybody has something that we did not cover? Well, we have Brandon here. If not, we're probably just going to go into what he said with, if you guys see stuff from this collection that you might want, send me the list. Brandon will let me know when he's going to start posting stuff, and then I can then let you guys know what's going on. And hopefully you guys can claim some things. I'll tell you, there are some very fast fingers on rogue5toys.com, and you've just got to be on top of your game.
People that they must work on the computer or something, because they're always on the page and they're always looking out for stuff. And I like to keep it real on the page. So some people will be like, oh man, I didn't know you were going to post that, or I'm all over the place with my posting, and it's kind of on purpose to keep people on their toes, because you never know what I'm going to post next. Chris goes in waves. He'll do like, all right, I'm going to do all the mocks at one time, and then all the loose figures at one time. I like to change it up a little bit. And one thing, I'll post the I don't know, General Lando last 17 figure, and then I'm posting the C-3PO switcheroo next. Just to people, and just to keep people on their toes. So stay frosty. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep, agreed. Space Beast, yeah, just let me know what you're looking for, Space Beast, and I will get a notification, and I'll email you when things are going to start to be listed. And then basically at that point, it's still a free for all. So you're going to have to be refreshing your screen. Make sure you have notifications on. I found out that I wasn't getting all of the notifications because Facebook changed it from all notifications for Rogue 5 to just like the highlights. And I never did that. So I was like, why am I not getting these updates? So I had to go in there to the notifications and mark all, so that every time they post something, it immediately pops up on my Facebook, and I can go right to it, see what it is, and see if it's something I need. The good news is, at this point of my collecting, I don't need everything. I only need a couple little things here and there. So my spending has definitely been curbed, which is great. But I mean, some of the collections that they've brought in at Rogue 5 has just been insane type of items. Insane. So I definitely recommend that everybody goes on there, rogue5toys.com, get on Facebook, answer the questions, join them, and then hit the notifications for all. I don't do Facebook though. Yeah, Space Beast might not work because that's where they're going to be sold.
Hey, if you have a buddy that has Facebook, or Mike, if you got if you know what he wants, and feel free to claim.
Yeah.
You can claim for a friend. I mean, we do that as well. So
Yeah.
of claim for so and so on the Facebook page, before.
Yeah. So Space Beast, let me know what you want, and I can go in and claim it. You got to pay me though. All right. Right. All right, man. I think that's kind of it. I'm at the end of the photos here. Oh, there's the last one. There's comics, tons of comics, and I just purchased. How many comics I purchased? They're stacked up over here from Brandon. I purchased like, I don't know, 15 comics from him. But these are all look like they're all the vintage ones. Mint on cards. We got some loose figures in there as well. We've got boxed items. We've got the stuffed animal Ewoks. There's 12-inch figures. There's, I mean, a little bit of everything is in this collection. It was quite the collection.
Yeah, and there's what's something that's noteworthy on there. And those let's see. There was a couple costumes in there. Those Ewoks, I think a couple of them are attached to the cardboard. There's a lot of weird stuff like that you don't see too often. Especially that Yoda costume. That one had a weird box to it. So there's some good stuff in there that's hiding that you may not see. So I'll to send photos to Star Wars Daddy so he can post them and so you guys can see what's coming up.
Yeah, there's lots of micro collection stuff too, and there was posters. There's all the blasters, like the big ones that are still in the box. There's just some beautiful items. Even the garbage cans. We got garbage cans. We got the poster or the those little puzzles that are like posters. I see like all the light switch ones. We got the light switches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are, I know I've got a couple people that love those things. So
the switcheroos.
yeah, they love those. Donnie, hey Donnie, he's purchased items from Brandon and Chris, very reliable and trustworthy. Yep. I've seen you in there claiming items, and I've seen Shane in there claiming items and Steven claiming items. So lots of people in there. It's the best group, honestly, you guys. And so I think that's it. We'll leave it at that. And Brandon, thanks for being on, man.
No worries. And I just want to say, if you see some items that are on there and you're like, wait, I didn't see that picture or I wasn't told about that, we do have other stuff that's on the page. I know Chris is constantly posting stuff. So if you do see an item that you're like, I didn't know that was part of that, it's because we have multiple collections that we're working to get through. So feel free, like if you do see something else, like, yeah, you can add that to your box too if you need that. There's a lot of loose items that are coming up, and a lot of weird stuff that is non-Star Wars that comes up. So don't think that it's because we didn't tell you. It's because this collection in and of itself has mainly everything Star Wars. So if there is some other things that weren't what you saw in there, it doesn't mean that it was part of that collection and we didn't tell you. So just so you know.
Yeah, there's gonna be lots of stuff that's posted throughout the day, you guys, and then there'll be a portion of it that'll be this collection that's mixed in with all the other stuff that's being sold. So we'll do our best. We're going to do our best to collab together and try to make everybody happy, but just know you're not going to win everything you want. All right? Let's set that up. That's the way it's going to be. But hopefully you guys will get an item here or there that you were hoping for. And again, it'll help drive traffic to Rogue 5 Toys, and to make sure to follow 5 Idiots Talking Toys, their podcast here on YouTube. I'll have all the links in the description. I'm gonna have to redo the description because we had to redo the stream, but I'll get all their stuff in there so you guys can find their links, or just email me and I'll get you guys hooked up. Okay.
Having me on, and yeah, anytime you want to have us on, we'll be happy to come on. And I think we're gonna have you on pretty soon, right?
Yes. Chris reached out to me. He said this Wednesday, but he hasn't said anything since. So I'm not sure if it's happening this Wednesday or not, but I'm thrilled. I'm really happy.
I think we have you slated to come on.
Okay, cool. Yeah. That'll be awesome.
last Wednesday, I think what we did the Great Ohio Toy Show review, and then this Wednesday, I think we're planning on having you on. I just saw him this past weekend, so what we talked about was having you on for Wednesday. So
Yeah, that'll be awesome. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be great.
all right, man. Well,
All
thanks
right.
for having me on, and thank you to everybody for joining in. And I'm excited for this collection. I hope everybody else is too. And let Star Wars Daddy or 5 Idiots Talking Toys or Rogue 5 Toys know if you're looking for something in particular that's on there.
All right. Thanks, man. Thanks for being on. We'll see you. We'll see you Wednesday.
All right, sounds good.
All right. See you, man.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, guys. Let me fix this. We're gonna have an echo. I'm turning the echo off. We should be back to normal. Wait, we still probably have echo now. Wait, why is that in there? Now, wait, what? Okay, are we good now? It should just be my voice. No echo. We should be all good. I had all these stupid things. Oh, nightmare. And then we got music. Let's get the music back on. There's our music. All right, hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Sorry that the stream froze and kicked us off, but I'm glad you guys found your way back. I had to immediately go in and create a whole new stream, get the thumbnail back on there, get the description, the title, and then I had to work through the problems. This is the first time that we've had a guest on, and the way that I have this stream set up does not work. So I think what I'm going to do in the future is I got to create a whole different set of stream pages on a separate thing that uses this microphone. I don't, why am I boring you? It's things I got to work through, but I'm glad it worked. We got them on. And listen, I promise you guys, we're going to do our best to make this a good experience for you, that you guys will be able to claim items. It's just, there's just not a way to control it like when I do an unboxing and you guys can reach out to me and it's first come, first serve. Hey, I need this figure. I want this. How much? And we get those things done. So it was nice of him. I didn't know he was going to do that, but him stating that he would show me the items he's going to post each day would allow me to go through maybe a little checklist. So I'm going to create a little Excel spreadsheet. You guys, if you need those photos that popped up here, let me know. I'll send you photos. And then you can kind of tell me the things that you might be looking for. I'll make an Excel spreadsheet. And then when I see Brandon tell me what those items are that he's posting the next day, then we will go in and I'll see who wanted those items. And I'll send you an email saying, hey, today's the day. Make sure you're refreshing your screen. And usually Brandon, he does them kind of like in spurts. So like if he's going to start posting things, like he's already taken the photos and then he just starts kind of knocking them out. So they all kind of come out within like an hour time period of whatever he's going to post. And then I will say that he does post some things late at night, even for me. So there's things that I've claimed at maybe 10 o'clock at night, my time, because he just posted them. Usually they're not like big items. They're like kind of smaller stuff that aren't that big of a deal. But guys, you could see there's a ton of stuff, and it was hard to go through those photos. Just, I can't go through all the details of them, but there's just so much stuff, and it's hiding. Even those photos don't even show all the items that are there. But that was the $25,000 California collection that I could not get the sellers down enough to where it made sense for me to travel to get them. And so we brought Brandon in, and you see, he's an awesome guy. I'm going to be on, I wasn't going to announce it yet, but it got announced. So I will be on the 5 Idiots Talking Toys podcast. We're filming this Wednesday because that's when they film all their stuff, but I don't think it comes out for another week or so. But I'll let you guys know. I don't even know what we're doing. I haven't got an agenda. I think I've got to have a win or a whiff, probably, because they do like a dual episode that splits up. And so it's gonna be very exciting, you guys. I'm very excited. Finally, it's finally happened. I've been saying for probably, ever since I've been on YouTube, why have we not been on each other's shows? because we probably share a lot of the exact same people. And guys, I think that's it. We went over it all. So listen, we talked about, let me recap. We talked about wait for an invoice on eBay. All right. I want to send you the invoice that already has everything waived. That's so much easier for me than having to go back in, because what ends up happening is in the middle of me making my video on Monday night to give shout outs, that's when I realize that you paid before the invoice. And then I have to stop. I have to go in another screen. I got to click through a bunch of stuff to refund you. Then I go back. And then now it's an editing nightmare because I got this big chunk of time. Like I said, just let me send you the invoice. Be patient and we'll get that out. And then with claiming items, if you claim it, like pretty much with Brandon and Chris, you got to pay for the item, you know, unless you're doing a payment plan. But here, I'm just saying, if you claim it, send me 20% to hold it. And then we can work on getting the payment after that for the rest of it, okay? Because I just have too many boxes of items I pulled out that I'm not getting recouped for because they haven't been paid. And so that's why we just need to go that route to make it easier for me, and then I don't stress about it. And then the Vader video, I hope you guys enjoyed that earlier today. Make sure to go watch it, comment on it, like it, do all that stuff. I spent a lot of time on it. We got Daddy 10 at checkout at theorysabers.com for any of the sabers. Again, you can't double dip. They have a buy one get one if you buy a medium or high-end saber. It comes with a free saber that is their dueling saber, which was in the video. It's like $100 saber they throw in as the buy one get one. So just know that's kind of what happens with those ones. But if you get one of the kind of like, you know, not like a lesser one, but not the medium to, you know, premier sabers, you can use that 10% off on that one and get still a very nice saber. They have beautiful sabers. And you don't have to go all out, bells and whistles. You can still have, we got that, the Yoda saber wasn't all the bells and whistles. It was one of my favorite sabers. It still counts as a middle one, but the features for it, for how the lightsaber worked and how the sound card on it, I think it's my favorite saber as far as how it works. It's so easy to figure out, and it was incredible. So I will say that they have a chunk of sabers that would fit with the, without getting the buy one get one free, that the 10% would work with, and it would be a much more affordable saber as well. So that is happening, and I would say you have 2 weeks to use that code. I think it ends in 2 weeks, because they gave me the code and then said you had a month, but then it took them over a week and a half to get me the saber to make the video, which has just come out. So we have 2 weeks. And then we'll see what happens. If we can get some success on that, we'll get some traction. Hopefully it sticks around for quite a while. And then there'll be a CAS promo code coming up at some point here. They have their own promo codes that are happening right now. And so once those end, we'll be back with a Star Wars Daddy code, and we'll do all kinds of promotions with that. I think we've said it all. We've done it all. Thank you for getting through the hiccups tonight and the tech issues. There was nothing that I could have done to stop that from happening. Streamlabs, the software I used, just didn't like Brandon hopping in. It was the first time. It said nope, so we had to redo it. But we got it to all work. We got the sound to work, and I'm gonna have to, yeah, like I said, we're gonna do that again. Of course we are. We're gonna get guests on. I will make sure that we have perfect sound, no hiccups, and it's flawless going forward. Thank you so much for being here, guys, and until the next time, which will be tomorrow night with Warzone, and then on Tuesday with Warzone and probably an unboxing video that comes out, and then on Wednesday with episode 96 of our eBay listing videos and Warzone, and then Thursday or Friday with another unboxing video. I mean, it never ends. Until all that happens, you guys, who is your daddy?